podcasting in Logic Pro. In this video, I want to explain the drag modes in Logic that you have available to you. There are 5. So a different video, I talked about shuffle mode, which if you're familiar with Adobe Audition, it's the same thing as a ripple delete. That's just one of the 5 drag modes. So I want to kind of go over all those today so that you understand them and you can use which one you prefer. So standard is overlap. What this means is when you drag regions, it will overlap. They will overlap one another basically. So you'll notice this first region here, it's going to stay intact. If I put this one over top of it, it overlaps. It doesn't delete this one. They're just overlapping each other. So that's the standard. That way you don't accidentally drag something and it deletes a part of the region. This is just the one that you should use as default. No overlap means if I push this region too close to this one, it will cut the other one short. And now there is no overlap there. Basically, it's just however far you drag it is however far it's going to cut it. So that's no overlap. Xfade is crossfade. So if I push these 2 regions up to one another, Logic will automatically generate a crossfade here between the 2 regions, which can be really handy if that's something that you want to do anyways. If you're making edits and you're getting very close and you're maybe cutting out one word of a sentence, you're going to want to crossfade anyways. So if you have a lot of those, put this in the drag mode of crossfade, and if you drag it here, it will automatically make those for you. Just basically saves you a step. And the last 2 are the shuffle modes, which is what I use most often when I'm editing. So left and right obviously is just the direction that you're going. So basically I have 2 audio regions here, and I want them to remain right next to each other. I want them to remain lined up like that. I'm going to delete a section out of this piece, and when I delete that, I want them all to stay lined up. So once that happens, they automatically shuffle to the left, and everything stays right next to each other. And then shuffle right is exactly the same thing, just in the opposite direction. So if I delete this, all these audio regions over here will shift over to match. So those are the 5 drag modes. Hope that makes sense, and use them as you please.